I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on an introduction here. You saw the title, you probably have seen the trailer already. This is just a bit more helpful explanation of all the information from the Loki trailer for Marvel Rivals. There are really three main parts to this, which I'll be going in on here. 1. Actual abilities of Loki. 2. New information about the other characters in Marvel Rivals. And 3. Information about the game overall. Let's start with our main boy, Loki. First off, we get a pretty big hint of lore here, though it's something we kind of already knew. Loki is the king of Yggdrasil, a connection between the gods' realm of Asgard and the Yggdrasil tree. This map is the one we've seen in every trailer so far, and Loki being the king of it means Thor is out. It even says as much in the description, that Thor has been sent away from Yggdrasil. This may mean more for the game's lore than just about Loki, though. The whole game is about two Doctor Dooms, or Doctors Doom? Either way, they're coming out and bringing multiversal soldiers to fight their battles. Loki is the first to be wildly different from the mainline comics, and it's entirely likely that other characters will be too. Not just copies of MCU or other media, but new interpretations for the characters overall. That lore aspect aside, let's take a look at Loki's moveset. Loki has 250 health, as do both of his clones. His primary attack is just a blast from the staff, which explodes on impact. Does damage to enemies, and also can heal allies. The bigger thing about this is that Loki's clones actually follow his aim and fire at the same time as him, aiming at the exact same spot. The ability has 10 ammo. Right-click has Loki disappear into stealth for just a couple of seconds, though he leaves a clone behind. It's on a 12-second cooldown. Left shift creates some kind of aura around the clones that seems to change any damage done to the allies by their enemies into healing instead. Really powerful, but it's on a 25-second cooldown. Loki's E has him just straight up deploy a clone, 10-second cooldown on there. That means that between his right click and his E, he can have two clones out at once, though it's not certain if the E alone can make those two clones, nor is it clear how long they last. F is very simple. Loki just targets a clone and swaps places with it. This is on a 15-second cooldown though, so it's kind of a big burst of mobility that he doesn't get too often. And then the pretty classic ultimate ability, Loki just copies the abilities of an enemy, though interestingly we do see that he always gets their ult instantly. It was not a Black Panther unique thing that the ult charged so fast, that was special to Loki. If you're looking to get used to Loki before Marvel Rivals actually comes out, the best I can really recommend is Ying in Paladins. She has the same type of clone deploying and teleporting as Loki's main playstyle, though his basic attacks, his stealth clone are kind of unique on their own, and the copying ult is very clearly like Echo from Overwatch. I don't think you can play Echo and get used to Loki because of her, because everything else about them is completely different. But Loki is not all we get. We actually get some new information about other characters in this trailer if you just look kind of closer. Doctor Strange's basic attack is shown for the first time. It's some kind of shotgun-style attack, but the pellets come out in different intervals rather than all at once. Hulk's Thunderclap, which we saw in the first trailer being used on Namor, is actually a projectile. In the first trailer it appeared to be a kind of AoE clone. Also, the leap that Hulk has is not channeled. In the first trailer, Hulk did nothing else during his jump, but here he attacks partway through it. Black Panther is only seen doing something new for a split second, but in that time we get a huge aspect of his mobility. He can actually double jump. You can see in the trailer he leaps off of thin air with a brand new jump animation. I think this may be combined with a much higher grounded jump than other characters, but I can't say for sure whether he made it up here with a big jump or with one of the other two movement abilities he has. Groot shows almost two abilities here. The first is when his arms grow and extend to the sides, although we really don't see what comes next. The bigger aspect is in this clip. Groot can deploy some kind of root wall, which clearly makes attacks of some sort. It's a lot like Mei or Inara, but it also deals damage to enemies, which I think is cool. It's got these little slaps going on. Magic shows off her basic swings without her ult active, which appears to be far faster than the bigger, heavier swings. Rocket, I think, owns this little red drone. It may be his method of healing. We never saw that during the first trailer. Penny Parker gets seriously bullied in this trailer. She gets killed 4 times. And in the final clip, I don't even know how she dies twice. We never see her pop out of her mech like Diva at any point, so I can't assume that she does that, but she clearly dies twice. If anyone has an explanation for this, please tell me. Luckily, I think we do see other abilities from her. First off is what I believe to be her basic attacks, coming from her shoulder-mounted guns. Second is some kind of machine that deploys this web-like AoE. And third, very briefly, there's a mine here. I assume this belongs to Penny, as it kind of looks like the other ones we saw dropping from her ult in the first trailer. Last ability we get to see is this gremlin? I'll be honest, I have no idea where this guy came from, whom he belongs to, or what he's doing. He's there 1 second, gone the next, and I love him. I'm certain we'll get to see all of these abilities very soon, though, as one of the biggest pieces of information we got here is the exact release date of the closed alpha for Marvel Rivals. It's May 10th. And why does that make me think we'll see these abilities soon? Well, that date is 17 days from now, and there are 17 more heroes coming to the game. I fully expect that we'll be getting a new trailer for a new hero each day up until closed alpha releases, and you can bet I'll be here to cover those as they come out. Despite all of that, it's actually not what interests me the most. Rather, I'm most interested in the role that Loki belongs to. He's a strategist. And thanks to Danny Koo, who leads the game from the Marvel side of things, we know that this is the true name of the role, including Rocket, Luna, and Mantis. They don't want to follow the typical support character, standing behind everyone else and being a healer. They want their strategists to be just as effective as playmakers on the front lines. I really think Loki is a fabulous way to show this off, as his whole playstyle isn't just healing people. He's there to be a really slippery, difficult to catch character with teleporting, stealth, turning damage into healing, and stealing. I'm really excited to see what the Rivals team is cooking up. And hey, I want to hear how everyone watching this is feeling. Drop a comment down below about which hero you hope is revealed next, how you feel about Loki and strategists as a role, or just how your day is going. Discussions help keep the content flowing as we get closer and closer to Marvel Rivals release. I'll be here for every second of it, and I hope to see more just like me. So until that time comes, stay safe, eat healthy, and be a good person.